It is here again. It gives me so much pleasure to come your way once again with Moments with Joy. This is where you get to interact with your favorite personalities that we have here on the Joy brand. I'm talking about Hits FM, Joy 99.7 FM, and of course, Joy Prime TV as well. Now, all you have to do is to just go on our page on Facebook and drop your messages over there. It's Joy Entertainment GH. That's where you can drop your questions, and always we have a guest here in the studio for you to talk to, ask your questions and get the answers. Last week, MFA came through. We had a great time. Today is one of Ghana's very finest, and I'm talking about the man that has been in almost all the faces of this entertainment industry. He's done almost everything. And those of you on social media, I'm sure you have an idea of who we're talking about. So it's another time. A very good afternoon to you. If you're joining us for the first time, last week you missed out. This is the moment for you to send your questions to the personality we have on the show today. You're most welcome to Moments with Joy. Before we go on and I introduce to you the guest for today, let me share something with you. Now, you've been following us for the past months now. You know that we've been doing something that nobody in this entertainment industry is doing. And it's the fact that we're taking time to celebrate our Ghanaian musicians and legends who have done so much for the industry. And we're talking about Joy Celebrate. Now, next week, we have one of Ghana's finest legends coming through on the show. I share with you that here. And it's all about the entertainment. We're definitely looking at the two sisters who over the years, have distributed so much of themselves to the various places they've always been in terms of doing music that pleases God and of course mankind. We're talking about Tegu sisters. They're going to be the next people that will be celebrating on Joy Celebrate, and it's happening on the 1st of October. Now, all you have to do is to tune into all our radio, TV shows on Joy FM, Hits FM, Joy Prime TV, all the Joy brands, and enjoy good music from Tegu sisters. You can also call in and make your dedications as well. If you have a favorite song of any of them, you can just, sing along. We do a bit of karaoke on there as well. So you might definitely want to be a part of that. We'll share some more of details with you here on the show. My name is KMJ. Please let me introduce to you my guest on Moments with Joy today. Tell us, who is the person we're talking about?
We're talking about me.
Yeah, me as in you have a name?
Just me. Yes, Niama.
Niama Jagadu?
Niama Ushimpa Ushiabalai from Bisi Gamashi.
Royal?
Everybody is a royal. Every guy is a royal. That is why we have Ni in our names.
Oh.
No, I know Niama Ushimpa Ushiabalai.
So if you're not Ni?
Yeah, no, it means you're a girl.
Okay, so if you don't have any of the Ni's in your name,
then you are hopeless, like Philip Nye.
His knee as well.
Oh, don't worry, he borrowed it. He borrowed it. It is not official. Somebody who can carry fugu from Accra to Maldives. Because you asked me, well, I'm a fan, you took fugu 4.
Why?
Yeah, because he thought the weather was cold. He doesn't know that if the weather is cold, it's jackets that you wear. He took fugu.
Not fugu.
Fugu 4. Not 1, not 2, 4. Why?
Okay, so who is George Quaye?
He's a man.
And what do you do as well?
This what do you do question is a tricky one.
There are more tricky ones coming.
It's a tricky one because it's hard to define me. It is hard to define me because I'm one of those who have been blessed. So blessed I am able to do so many things. And people will sometimes say, jack of all trades, master of none. But fortunately for me, I'm jack of many trades and master of all. Almost everything I do it very well. And I'm fortunate to be one of the best in almost each and every one of them, though we still learn each and every day, from television presentation to radio presentations to the public relations business, mass communications, you name it, acting, scripting, producing, directing, editing, and I mean, on stage, on screen, advertising, you name it, it's an endless list of stuff that we can do.
You're the thief of Baghdad.
Alibaba.
Would you define yourself as such?
No, I'll just define myself as somebody who's very, very blessed and somebody who follows his passion. Whatever I find an interest in, I pursue. There used to be some time in my life where I'll just either attend a job interview, not because I want the job, but I want to know the kind of skills they are looking for. And I want to see if I qualify. There have been a few interviews that I've attended, they've called and I've declined. I didn't attend the interview because I wanted the job. I just wanted to know if there were skills they were looking for that I didn't have, you know, and if I didn't have those skills, I would go lend them. And not that I wanted to go where I just want to have them, because nobody knows tomorrow.
Yeah.
One day it might come in handy, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
George Quaye is the host of Late Night Express on Joy 99.7 FM. He doubles up as also the host of Showbiz 8Z on Joy 99.7 FM. And he's my guest here on Moments with Joy. Now send in your questions, whatever you want to know about George. Go on our Facebook page, Joy Entertainment GH. Send them to me right now. I'm going to be reading the questions. He's going to be answering all of them. Now, if you're on Zoom, you can also join us. It's very simple. That one, we can see you talk to George Quaye here in the studio. The passcode and the ID are all on your screens right now, so you can just take them and log in just straight up. Once we have you on, we'll put on your Zoom connection with us, so you can ask George Quaye the question you want to ask. Those of you on Facebook can also send your messages over there. I'm going to be reading them very soon, and it's exciting already. I love this. So, someone actually told me George Quaye can be very angry with you, but won't even know he's angry with you. He can be very angry with you, but you won't even know he's angry with you. But someone close to him will know he's upset with you. He will calmly talk to you if you continue to do what is making him angry, and you and every other person around will not even know that he's spoken about it. And the job you're doing will still go on same way. That's George Quaye. You are calm with even anger. How do you do that?
Growing up,
this is somebody very close to you. Very, very close to you.
You see, growing up, I always heard people say people who are not very tall were quick-tempered. I had a very terrible experience with temper back in primary school. Was it GSS or primary? I think it was GSS 1 or primary. You know, I was learning martial arts at the time. I actually even threw a knife at somebody just because I was angry. And after that day, I vowed never to let anger have the worst of me anymore. The person wasn't hurt. Yeah, fortunately, I missed. You know, but that was the worst, you know, I had ever come into contact with anger. So after that day, I said, okay, we'll control it. So what I do now is I give you a very long rope. I give you an opportunity. I'll let you know how what you're doing is affecting me, and I'll give you time to stop it. If you don't, I'll just leave it be. But what I do, try. Sometimes it's very difficult. Try to make sure that how you feel does not affect the work that has to be done. Because at the end of the day, the work is what puts food on the table. And the reason you are the work is to put food on your table. So if you're going to be stupid enough to let anger take the better part of you so that it affects the work that you're doing, then really it means you're denying yourself food as well. So yes, I try to be as friendly as possible. I try to swallow my pride and apologize when I'm wrong. And I also enjoy when I'm apologized to. I think the key, most important words in life for me are sorry, thank you. You know, these two. And
that's what you do?
Yeah, sorry and thank you. If you're able to show appreciation and if you're able to apologize, I mean, your world is limitless. You can go places. If you're able to show enough humility to apologize, and if you're able to show gratitude for whatever has been done for you, no matter how small, and key, to respect everybody around you, no matter their rank, be it a cleaner or a driver or the top.
Okay, so George Quaye has been praying in that. I don't like these people, man. I don't like our people.
Just translate it into cash.
I don't like our people
you can't surprise me.
You have to stop that.
I am not surprisable.
All right. I don't give up.
You can translate it into cash.
Let's do this.
No. I sure. Wait. Whose taxi is this?
Oh, this for my uncle.
Oh. It looks like one of my numerous taxis. Are you sure it belongs to your uncle?
Yes, it's for my uncle.
What's your uncle's name?
Uncle TT. Why? Do you know him?
I see. Oh, check out him. I don't know him.
But the way you are behaving.
I don't know him. Nothing.
Okay, let's go inside to see him. He will like you.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Maybe you can even give him one of the taxis to drive.
Taxi won't cheap. I know
I'm sure, but he wants another one. He's always complaining about his master.
Oh, I see. Tell me.
Yes, Uncle Titi says the man is a kid.
Huh?
Huh? He's always complaining about him. But the unfortunate thing is that they are in laws.
Well,
So there's nothing you can do about
you see,
it.
these things, they come. It's part
Are you
of
sure
life.
about that?
We
Then
have to
let's go
try
and
to
see
cope.
him then.
No, that's not part of the cooking. You see,
sure?
look, your mother doesn't want to see me.
No, you're not going to see my mom.
Big,
Stop trying to
what's
see me.
some what? What's some
She will
what?
like
What's
you.
some what? The more
I want to see where.
Just let him stay.
Is that you? That's you.
Sometimes I find it amazing. See trousers with human being the way.
Okay, so a couple of questions have come through. That's George Quaye over there. You've seen him. A couple of questions have come through. Now, this one says that what are the two things you do before going on radio? Ashley.
First thing is to pray, and then second thing is to conquer the fear. Trust me, every time you appear, you're going to be on radio or you're going to be on TV, there is always that tiny little fear. If you don't have that fear there, it means you're an overconfident person, and that overconfidence can kill you. And you always need to say a prayer because you're going to put yourself before a million eyeballs, especially on TV. And on radio, these days, by virtue of technological development, radio has also become visual because you're on social media as well. So you're putting yourself before millions of eyeballs. Not all those eyes are good eyes. You cannot see them, but they can see you. You don't know what they are doing while looking at you, what they are thinking while looking at you, what they are plotting while looking at you. The only thing that can save and protect you is the grace of the good Lord Almighty. So you pray.
You take that side of this seriously?
Yeah. You pray before you go on air. And then you just have to breathe in. And usually you need to have finished the program before starting the program. So you need a moment of reflection. For instance, I'm going to go on Late Night Express. I know, I have my playlist. I know when I'm going to play what, when what's going to happen. So you need to give yourself some 5-10 minutes to run through the program. So that when you're there, you're not there for the first time. You've been there already emotionally. So everything else is just a playback for you.
Okay.
So it makes it a lot easier. So these are the two key things. Pray and find a way to reflect in a way that you kill the fear.
Okay.
Then you can do it.
All right. Now, Kenneth Oduro says in this one, it says that, I like you, George Quaye. Do you think at a point in your career at Charterhouse, you became so powerful looking at the controversies around you and the VGMEs? Did you ever have that feeling?
It wasn't power. I have always been of the opinion that in Ghana, companies do not appreciate the role of PR very, very well. That is why certain organizations would have a corporate communications officer and still have a PRO. For me, the role of PR should be key, and it should be in the top hierarchy of every company. And if companies get to understand that and empower the PR, give the PR as much power as they would give the chief operations officer or even the head of human resources or something like that, PR would be better appreciated in this country. And I thank Charterhouse for the respect they gave to that role. If you ask me, I don't think any organization in this country appreciated the role of PR better than Charterhouse, at least not while I was there. And that is what people call a lot of power. Because the company respected the role so much, they gave me room to operate. Also because they appreciated what I brought to the table. And if every organization would place that premium on PR and appreciate whoever is in charge of their PR, you won't find CEOs attending interviews and making quote-unquote fools of themselves in certain situations. Because the PR is supposed to be like the face of your company. The PR is your brand. The PR should live and understand your brand so well. The PR is supposed to shield you. It's supposed to be that barrier between you and your publics. That's how come it's called public relations. So if you have a PR person who understands that role very well and you empower that PR person to execute that role so well, trust me, your organization would move from success to success and you just continue to grow bigger and bigger and bigger because it's a very, very, very difficult role and it has a science behind it.
Okay.
And whoever is playing that role ought to understand the science, ought to understand the nuances, ought to understand the pluses and minuses, ought to know when to speak and when to be silent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Now, Daniel says that you are a very tough guy. What makes you cry?
Failure. Failure is a lesson, and sometimes you need to cry so you do not forget. failure is supposed to make you better. If you fail today and you fail at the same thing again tomorrow, sometimes it makes me feel like a fool. I would rather not fail twice. So when I fail, I would rather cry so I don't forget it. So that next time I can do better. So yes, failure makes me cry. Failure, I hate failing. I don't like failing.
Have you been in that situation before?
I've been in that situation. I mean,
what happened?
I remember the
issue?
last time I really cried. No, the men's gold issue, I did not fail. The VGMA issue that had Stumbo and Shatawale, that one, I felt I failed. And that one was a big blow. And that's how come, if you recall, I had an interview with Andy Dosty and I
broke down. Yeah.
Because I figured as an organization, the company had done everything it was supposed to do to ensure that what happened did not happen. There had been so many stakeholder engagement with so many people, including the artists themselves. So for that thing to have happened, it was a major failure. There was one tiny aspect of everything that personally I probably didn't anticipate. And one of the key roles of PR and event planning is anticipation. You cannot take everything for granted. I trusted people and took certain things for granted. So personally, I thought I failed.
Okay.
That's how come I.
All right, so more questions here. Let's move on. This one, Shelley says that I like George Quaye so much, but I'm here for the silly question. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers. Yeah. Briefs hold them too tight. They should be free.
It holds with which too tight?
The balls and stuff, you know.
Okay.
You listen to the Late Night Express. We can't say it here.
I'm sure this one is from that place because with this coming for the silly question, I'm suspecting it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to this one. This one says, okay, so Josephine Adadi says that, have you ever considered cheating on your wife?
Considered is a tricky word. Have you ever found yourself in situations where you would have to? We find ourselves in that situation every day. I have about over 65 blocked contacts on my phone. When you're into this,
65.
About 65 blocked contacts, and I can.
And they're all ladies who want to.
No, a lot of them
from your wife?
A lot of them not necessarily take you from your wife. The question wasn't leave your wife for another woman.
Cheat on your wife.
So there are ladies who may want to do things with you.
On some you cheat and then it ends up liking them more than your wife.
Oh, sometimes it happens. You can see block there. How many do you see there?
73 contacts have been blocked.
Yeah.
These are all females.
No, not all. Some are guys.
You have guys hating on you too?
Oh no, not guys. You know that when you're into this, what we do, especially when I had to do with artists or you're on radio.
Yeah.
Look, somebody just picked on me and started insulting me. Just why you think you're the only one who can speak English? You sit on radio and come out for there, your mother. That one I just block.
Yeah.
I just say thank you and block. Just say thank you. On Facebook it's worse. On Facebook I have over 450 blocked contacts.
So how do you deal with these ladies who come at you?
You've seen
Cheat on
73.
your wife. I like you.
You've seen 73 block contacts, haven't you?
You don't talk to
A
them?
lot of them, no. Sometimes some come as friends. You start engaging, you're having, and then the conversations start going somewhere. Oh, some offer us holidays in exotic places and all that. Oh, let's do lunch.
Hey, George,
here
you're
and all
enjoying
those
it.
things. KMJ, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't experience it like the way you are.
You don't? Wow, well, I'm sorry. But eventually you get there.
Yeah, I should get
Eventually you will get there. And I thank God I started a program like the Late Night Express when I had crossed 40. Because when you cross a certain age, you lose interest in a lot of things. Your focus changes, your goals change, your desires change. So you lose interest in certain things. I'm sure if I'd started it probably in my 20s or when I was younger, I probably would have fallen prey to a lot of temptation. But thank God now we are more mature, we are a bit more wiser, and we know what we are going for, and you know you do not have a lot of time. Technically, I've hit 40. So technically, I have, all things being equal, I have about 30 more years to live. I've got children, I've got a family. So your focus really changes, your thinking changes. You're working harder, you're sleeping less. How much time do you have to go fool around with some girl somewhere? So yes, the temptation comes every single day.
Them.
You don't have a choice. If you're sensible and you know what's ahead of you, you will.
Okay, let's move on. This is coming from Favor from Ho. He says, George, this is one question almost everybody seems to be interested in, and I'm also interested in it as well. Were you fired from Men's Gold?
I wasn't fired from Men's Gold. I had to leave. I had to move on because I am motivated by challenge. A lot of people don't even know that at the time I joined Men's Gold, what I was going to earn as Men's Gold was less than what I was earning at Charterhouse at the time. I was motivated by the challenge, and I really would have loved to have been able to help get them out of the issue. Imagine if there was a news headline that George Quaye is the PR person who helped navigate Men's Gold out of their issues. That would have been a big plus for my CV. Unfortunately, when threats started coming at me, personally, I'm not moved by threats. You cannot, it's not possible. You cannot threaten me. Child, I grew up in Kutobabi, what we not see before. You know, so I'm not moved by threats. But when people start threatening the people that you care about, people that you love, when those threats started getting to my family, people that had absolutely nothing to do with the work that I was doing, I realized that if I cared about them, it can't always be about the money or your personal desires. Sometimes you need to think about the people who are dear to you and leave it alone. So for the sake of family and some very close friends who were getting needless attacks just because of the work that I was doing, I had to let it go. Same thing, if today my family friends start getting attacks because of what I do with the multimedia group, I'll move on.
Okay.
Because family matters, it's always important. Consider them first, because at the end of the day, when everything goes wrong, they are the only ones who will be there for you.
So you didn't fire, you fired them?
No, I didn't fire them. We parted ways. We're still good friends.
We parted ways.
Yes.
My bad.
Nana Pia and I are still very good friends. Yeah.
We discussed though.
No. Like I said, it wasn't about money. If it was about money, I would have stayed at Charterhouse.
Cars and Obi. The cars they shared.
No. The cars I have, by God's grace, are all mine.
AC and sweat.
Nothing.
Okay, if you just join us over here, Moments with Joy. George Quaye is my guest on the show. We're having a good time. Margaret Pawani says, go, GQ. All right, let me go to this one over here. It says, my name is Matilda. Please, I wanted to ask George about Aram.
Who's Aram?
I don't know.
I know about 3 Arams.
Okay.
One is Adam Naite's niece.
Okay.
And then one I attended school with. And then one is in the media space.
Who are they?
They're bloggers. So I don't know which Aram. The person should be.
Okay, so I think if you follow up with the question again, maybe if you want him to probably answer it well for you, you can send it again as a follow-up question so that we can find out. But they are all friends of yours?
We're all friends.
Okay, family friends?
No, just friends.
For business
I'm not.
sake?
Aram is an Ewe name. I'm not an Ewe. We're just friends. Like UKMG and I, we're friends.
Yeah.
You know.
I was just wondering. Okay, so Esther says that, what's one thing that you would do if you knew there are still consequences, but you still do it?
Someone with a great character and a lot of patience.
I wish the person could define consequences, because
it could be anything. It could be terrible. It could be cool. It could be.
If the consequences are right, or if the consequences would affect me personally negatively, but would serve a greater good for the greater number of the people, then I won't mind doing it. It could be anything. If it is something that would serve the greater good for the greater number of people. For instance, quitting Men's Gold. It was a tough decision for me. It was a tough decision for the organization. It was painful for all of us. I knew, for me, personal brand, it showed a lack of loyalty, a lack of steadfastness, a lack of somebody who jumps ship when things get hot and all that. As I said, family and friends were being attacked, were being maligned, they were being, it was brutal. So though I had the strength to withstand some of those attacks
the
that were coming,
on the other side was greater.
it was greater, so I just had to let it go. So if what I'm doing, the action is going to serve a greater good, then I don't care. Damn the consequences. Once it's serving a greater good, I don't mind pursuing the line of action.
Okay, we're going to be going into some of the latest works that you're doing, but quick one. This one, Ahadzi says that, who is the oldest person you've ever dated?
Fortunately, I have never dated an older person before.
Okay.
All I've really had probably 2 proper relationships in all my life.
The rest are?
The lady that I dated before meeting my wife, and then my wife.
And the rest?
Basically. Friends.
Benefit?
No, not yet. I haven't had any of those benefits like you have.
In the past,
so far. Oh, no.
I'm just following up for...
In the past, like I said, I had one person that when I really started... Before, there are people that I knew before. Situations that you're a child, you think you're in a relationship, but it's not. Because when you grow up and you get to understand what a relationship is, then you realize that, oh, those ones were just jokes. You understand?
So you don't count those ones?
No. Those ones
were
I count.
just hitting,
Those ones
hitting and running.
No. Like I said, when you get to understand what a relationship properly entails, you get to realize that they are now you did not do anything at all.
But you can count a lot of them that you had that style with.
I do not
15 of them.
I do not understand. Your history is different from mine. So you're trying to, I know you're assuming things that you may have done, and you wish you could
George,
get a lot of
people
people
are
who have
asking
done
questions
same.
they want to know.
No, it's okay,
This
don't
is
worry.
The only way they can get closer
It's
to
all right,
you.
don't worry.
So be honest with them.
You are a legend.
It's that simple.
You are a legend from Koforidua. Everybody knows that. When you go to
Let's
Koforidua,
take
people
George's
know what you have done.
latest works,
They know KMD. They know your name. When you arrive, they
Get out of here.
Oh wow! Oh no! What office did you fair?
I pass the exam. You call these zeros a pass? Where? When you go to
University of Aya.
that husband of mine is trying to make me and my children homeless by sending that his daughter to the university.
Oh man, you can say. Obi onele ni why? Come on, eji wo keje how man. Omi.
All right, so welcome back. It's still Moments with Joy here on our Facebook page, Joy Entertainment GH. My guest is George Quaye, and we've been dealing with a lot of issues that you've sent to us. Now, let's move on real quick. We'll do a couple of them, and then we say goodbye. Now, this one over here says that, please, I want to know, how do you handle cyber trolling? It looks like you're popular. Okay, it looks like a lot of popular people also suffer the same. How do you handle yours? You're the troll itself.
It's not possible. It's not possible because, you see, fortunately for me, I have a comedy background. We've seen images from Taxi Driver series. Even Diddy, the roles that I play always have humor around them. And I have suffered a lot of troll growing up. Look, back in secondary school, I was entertainment prefect. I remember when I wanted to be entertainment prefect, there was one day somebody went to do an artwork and put on one of our notice boards. The artwork, they had put the entertainment prefect badge on the top of some ladder, and all the other guys who were competing were very tall people and they could just touch it, and me, I was still trying to climb the ladder. I wasn't getting there. Eventually I won. I have been trolled on a number of occasions over a number of things. When the troll becomes abused, I simply block you because I'm not going to engage you. Sometimes there is really no need engaging certain people. I always say, when you're taking a shower and a madman comes to remove your towel, you don't go chasing. There's no point. When it becomes abuse, people sometimes insult you, they insult your family. That's why I try much as possible not to put my private stuff on social media, so you can keep my family out of my business. You want to deal with me? Come deal with me. If you have the, can I say balls? Yeah, good. If you have the balls, come deal with me. We can throw jabs at each other a little bit, but when it becomes abused, I simply block you because I'm not going to get into that with you. Because sometimes if you go arguing with an idiot, they may drive you into their world of uselessness and they defeat you with experience. So there's no point going into their world with them. So you just block and move on.
Great stuff. More of the questions coming through. I don't know whether we have enough time to do this, but